Since its premiere in 2015, The Last Kingdom has captivated the hearts of fans from around the world. Yet sadly, like all good things, it must come to an end, with Netflix announcing the upcoming 5th season as its final one for the show. If you're wondering if there are several shows out there who share a semblance of similarity to The Last Kingdom, you're in luck, since we're here to share with you several series you should watch if you love The Last Kingdom. Black Sails. Starting today's list of must-watch series, we have the American historical drama Black Sails, which is derived from the prequel of Robert Louis Stevenson's hit classic Treasure Island. Black Sails takes place roughly 20 years before the events of Treasure Planet takes place in the early 18th century, which is also known as the Golden Age of piracy. The series gives a similar setting to The Last Kingdom and tells the compelling story of the young Captain Flint and his crew as they embark on a flight for the survival of the New Providence Island. Aside from that, this show also depicts several characters who are part of the LGBTQ community, a representation that is quite lacking in TV, especially in historical adventure drama, The Witcher. Next, we have another of Netflix's hit series based on the book and the video game of the same name titled The Witcher. The show stars Henry Cavill as Geralt of Rivia and explores his connection with Princess Ciri in the medieval-inspired landmass known as the Continent. The Witcher is a fantasy adventure series, but there's a lot of historical inspirations in their setting, not to mention the action-packed and high-paced action scenes where we see a swashbuckling Cavill. It's a good show to be absorbed by and has only one season so far, with the second season coming December 2021. Peaky Blinders. Continuing with the list, we have the gangster family of Irish origins, the Shelbys, who are led by their scheming boss Tommy Shelby, who was portrayed by the Irish actor Cillian Murphy. Also highly popular on Netflix, Peaky Blinders originally aired on BBC One until Netflix acquired rights and is now available for viewing at the streaming giant. Set in Birmingham shortly after the First World War, it follows the family's criminal activities and has run for 5 seasons so far. In January 2021, it was announced that Peaky Blinders was renewed for a 6th and final season. So if you missed the gritty drama of The Last Kingdom, this show is sure to fit your bill. Carnival Row. If you want more fantasy with a bit of drama and adventure, then we highly suggest you try watching Carnival Row on Amazon Prime. Led by Orlando Bloom and Cara Delevingne as Rycroft Philostrate and Vignette Stonemoss respectively, it tells the story of mythical creatures who have fled their war-torn homeland and gathered in the city as tensions are simmering between citizens and the growing immigrant population. The series drew heavy inspiration from Mortal Engines as well as acclaimed writer Neil Gaiman, but it also bears similarities from Game of Thrones, especially in the political dealings between human and the Fae creatures. So far, the season has only one season, but it's renewed and greenlit for a second season, so there's more where that came from. Marco Polo. Another historical drama series worth including in today's list is the American historical drama Marco Polo. From the name itself, the show is inspired by the renowned explorer during his time in Kublai Khan's Mongol Empire. The Italian actor Lorenzo Riscelmi is the lead role and Benedict Wong is Kublai Khan. The series first aired back in 2015 and consisted of 10 episodes, and shortly after, a second series was greenlit and aired in July of the following year. Hardcore fans of history expressed their delight in the series since it depicted an accurate sequence of events from Marco Polo's early years in the court of Kublai Khan. In addition to that, production spared no expense in making the show, but despite this, the series was short-lived and canceled after 2 seasons. But don't let that discourage you from watching an amazing show with its minute depiction of Mongolian culture back in the day. Outlander. Next, we have another series that's derived from an ongoing novel series of the same name by Diana Gabaldon titled Outlander. The series is led by Katrina Balfe as Claire Fraser and Sam Heughan as James Jamie Fraser. It tells the story of a World War II nurse who time travels back in time to Scotland in 1743, who gets entangled in the affairs concerning the Highlanders from the Clan Mackenzie, who are being pursued by British Redcoats led by Captain Jonathan Black Jack Randall. Like the previous shows, Outlander has several historical references and eye candies to boot. The only thing unfortunate about this series is that it's not on Netflix, but viewers can still stream the series on Hulu and Starz. Make sure to binge watch all 5 seasons since it's greenlit for season 6. Game of Thrones. It would be a crime not to include one of HBO's critically acclaimed and highest-rated dramas of all time in today's list. Game of Thrones helped define TV series as a whole with its captivating storyline, unexpected plot twists, political drama, and action-packed scenes. Based on the novel series by George R.R. Martin, it follows the story of noble families who fight for the Iron Throne of the 7 Kingdoms, with different arcs per storyline. What's not included in the series? As one of the best shows to grace the small screen, Game of Thrones had us all root for different families each season. Did we forget to say that it also has the most intense sex scenes there are? Rome. Another HBO HBO historical drama that serves a spot in today's video is none other than Rome. The series is led by actors Ray Stevenson as Titus Pullo and Kevin McKidd as Lucius Varenus, who are inspired by the Roman soldier duo mentioned in Caesar's Commentari do Bello Gallico. Rome also depicts the lives of the affluent, both of which are in line historically with the lives of Lucius and Titus. Like Game of Thrones, production spared no expense in making it as accurate as possible with its costumes, locations, cinematography, and fight scenes. What more could you possibly ask for? Frontier. Since we're on the topic of historical drama, let's not forget the 2016 Canadian TV series Frontier that depicted the life of the North American fur trade in the 18th century Canada Rupert's Land. It's led by none other than Jason Momoa as Declan Harp in the lead role, who is a half-Irish, half-Cree outlaw who is campaigning to breach the Hudson's Bay Company's monopoly on the fur trade in Canada. The action scenes and gritty violence are what make you glued to the show, aside from the gorgeous set locations, which we're sure fans of The Last Kingdom could also attest to. The Borgias. The historical fiction drama The Borgias is also a show worth watching, even though the series ran for only 3 short seasons. If there's anything about this show, it's that it's simply aesthetic with the gorgeous set locations, costumes, and of course the actors who make up the show. The Borgias takes place during the Renaissance era in Italy and revolves around the Borgias family in their scandalous rise to the papacy. Ruthless as they are, you'll come to love the characters and admire how they became the most infamous crime family. Like everything else in this video, the show battles dominance for power and success despite being surrounded by enemies. The Tudors. If we have a show that focuses on the Renaissance period, then we have one that revolves around the Tudor dynasty in 16th century England. The Tudors is a collaborative effort among American, Canadian, British producers that revolves around the reign of King Henry VIII. The series ran for 4 seasons and is led by Jonathan Rhys-Meyers as Henry VIII of England, with several acclaimed actors in the supporting role. Each season depicts a different and important event of the king's life. So if you're all about political and historical drama, then The Tudors may be your cup of tea. Versailles. Since we're practically making a list of European historical dramas, then it's only right that we include French historical drama Versailles in today's list. The show takes place during the construction of the Palace of Versailles during the reign of Louis XIV and has 3 seasons. It is led by the actor George Blagden as Louis XIV, King of France, in the lead role. And did you know that it's also the most expensive French television series of all time, with a budget of £30 million, approximately $33 million, for its first season? Just take a look at its filming location and costumes. We're sure you'll get more than hooked on this series. Vikings. Last but not least, we have the historical fantasy drama Vikings, which ran from 2013 until December 2020. If anything, out of the series listed today, Vikings bears the most resemblance to The Last Kingdom. The series is derived from the sagas of Ragnar Lothbrok, a Viking who is one of the best-known legendary Norse heroes and notorious as the scourge of Anglo-Saxon England and West Francia. As the series progresses, we see the important events that take place in his life and the community that helped shape the story of the show, which later on encompassed the lives and adventures of his sons. And with that, we're wrapping up today's video about a list of similar shows to The Last Kingdom that you must watch. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to our channel before you go. Until the next episode, thanks for watching and see you next time.